Welcome to my workshop. In today's video I want to show you 3 very simple but very useful jigs for your router. All these jigs can be quite easily made in one single Saturday's afternoon, and I think having all 3 is an absolute must if you're planning to utilize your router to its full potential. Right, and let's kick off with the first jig. What we're going to need? Well, a T-track. Preferably, okay? It doesn't have to necessarily be a T-track. It could be some sort of a straight metal bar. I would say metal or aluminium because it will be straight and it will remain so. Plywood, MDF or wood will not hold the dimensions over time. On top of it, I'm going to use some scraps of MDF, 12 millimeters of thickness in my case. In total, I'm going to need 3 pieces from this MDF board. And as you can see, I'm using my miter saw to cut all of them to the right sizes. But of course, you can use a table saw or any other means you've got in your workshop. 12 millimeter thickness is perfect in my case, as my T-track is 11 millimeters high. In my case, considering the size of the base for my router, these are the dimensions: 185 millimeters by 135 millimeters, that's the base. 185 by 35 millimeters, that's the support on the other side of the T-track, and 185 millimeters by 81 millimeters, that's the bridge on top. Now it's time to put our jig together. I'm going to be using some wood glue and brad nails. That will be strong enough. The T-track is just a spacer to make sure I'm in the right position. Now, if you don't have a brad nailer, you can simply use screws. It's just a little bit quicker for me to complete this project using a brad nailer. I have actually made a very similar jig in the past. However, somehow I've lost the base. And it was super useful, so I decided to recreate it and show it to you, as most of you probably haven't seen that old video. Right, now it's time to attach the base to our jig. Fortunately enough, I actually do have some holes threaded as well that meant to hold the side edge guide. So I've got 3 holes, that will be enough to hold it in place. However, in normal cases, you would take the black base off and then utilize the holes that are actually holding this black piece. First of all, with a 12 millimeter force snippet, I'm going to create a recess for the head of the bolt so it's fully flush with the base. With that done, I'm going to return back with a 6 millimeter drill bit to drill the hole through. And now I can simply attach my router base to our jig. For the next step, I've installed a point bit, just like this one, to create the exact center where my router is going to be, and that will enable us to establish the center lines on each side of our jig. And with a marking knife, I'm just going to mark the perfect center. And I'm going to transfer this mark onto the sides as well. Now the final thing that we need to do is to create a hole for the router bit. Now let's just measure quickly what we've got as an opening in the base itself. We've got 65 millimeters. Therefore, I'm going to cut my hole with a 65 millimeter hole saw. And there you have it, that's our jig, absolutely that simple. Put the jig over our track and you can slide away. Now the benefit of a T-track is the fact that you can actually quite easily clamp it down. For example, I've got these type of clamps with a flat head from the DeWalt. They are perfect for tracks of any sort, but of course they will absolutely fit in a T-track as well. However, because it's a T-track, you can really come up with any type of solution for clamping. It really gives you a free hand to actually come up with something simple or maybe sophisticated to actually clamp down this track to your piece of material. But hey, let's do a test run so you see how it works. Now let's say I want to create a channel over here or groove or anything else. I'm just gonna mark it off. Now simply I'm gonna align my jig with the marks on both sides, make sure it covers on the line. That's gonna be our middle. With that done, I can simply clamp the T-track down to the piece of material. Now this is now super stable, it's not gonna move on us, and we can simply focus on just pushing our router through the material. And with this simple jig, you will always have nice, perfectly straight channels, grooves, or anything you want to cut. I think this is one of the easiest jigs you can create for your router. It doesn't require massive amounts of materials and complexity. Super that simple, and it gives fantastic results each time. But now let's do the second jig. And again, the most simple version of it that actually works. For the next jig, I'm going to be using 18mm MDF, a piece of 12mm MDF. However, to be fair, if you wanted to, you can do the whole project from the 18mm. On top of it, we're going to need 4 bolts. We're going to need some star knobs. You can buy them, make them, or actually you can even 3D print them as well. Up to you. Now this jig will need 4 pieces. Now in my case, the first 2 pieces, both of them will be 700mm long. One of them will be 80mm wide, and the second piece will be 130mm wide. Plus we're going to need 2 more pieces. In this case, they're going to be both 210mm long and 50mm wide. Now it's time to drill some holes. First of all, so countersink holes for the bolts heads, and for that I'm using this huge 13mm bit, as I actually don't have a Forstner bit that is 13mm, which I need in this case. And then I'm going to drill the holes with an 8mm bit, as that's the size of the bolts I will be using. And now simply we just need to put the jig together. Make sure that the head of the bolt is flush with the base. However, before I'm going to put these on, I'm actually going to round them off a little bit. It's not necessary, however, it will look a little bit nicer, and then you will be able to get the base of the router a little bit closer to the edge. And to round these off, I'm just going to use some sort of a plastic round container, for example, like this one, which I use to store my drill bits. To cut out that rounded shape, I'm just going to be using my bandsaw. However, you can use a jigsaw if you don't have a bandsaw, or actually even a normal sander will be able to sand off that much material. Now let's continue with the assembly. I will be adding some washers as well. And there you have it, such a simple jig, easy and quick to do, and I bet you already know how to use it properly as well. But hey, let me just quickly show you. Let's say I want to create a dado here to the exact size of my board. That will be the inner divider in my cabinet. Very simple to do. I've established the position. I marked this board. Now I'm going to align the edge of my jig with the reference line. And I'm doing that with the wider edge. With that done, I can now clamp my jig to the workpiece. Now simply take the board that will be sitting in our dado, put it against our fence, and now simply move our jig so it's touching that board there, and lock our jig in place. Now for this jig to work correctly, you're going to need a bearing guided router bit, for example like this one. And now with our router we can create a perfect dado. Now we can take off the clamps, remove our jig, perfect groove there. And how about the fit? Well, let's check that out. Absolutely perfect fit. One tip from myself, sometimes the fit is absolutely perfect, okay? Which means it's actually hard to get any glue inside to glue in your panel. So on those occasions is to put some sort of a spacer. In most cases, 1 sheet or 2 sheets of paper will do just fine. Do it like that and you're gonna have nice fitting dado, but still enough space to actually put the material inside of the dado and add some glue as well. Right then, time for the final jig. Now this one will be very handy for cutting out mortices or actually slots of any type. And again, I'm going to be using 18mm MDF. However, this time it would be best if you had some piece of hardwood. Unfortunately, in my case, I do have only pine and it needs to be on the thicker side. This piece is 21mm in thickness, so that's what we need to be going for. Again, we're gonna need some 4 bolts, and for a change, I'm gonna use some wing nuts. Let's get started. The base from the MDF needs to be 270mm wide and 150mm deep. That's accounting for my router base. However, the pine we need to cut into 2 pieces. Each needs to be 270mm long and 30mm wide. And as I mentioned, my piece is 21mm thick. In the base itself, now we need to establish the position for the cutouts for the bolt. So basically the bottom pieces can move, slide left to right, okay? In my case, I'm gonna have those slots 2 centimeters away from the edge and 1 centimeter from the front and the back. However, I do want to have a gap between those 2 openings, so right in the middle I'm going to leave about 1 centimeter of uncut space. I'm going to use a router on a router table to cut out those slots. However, you can do it with a jigsaw or any other means you've got in your workshop. And as you can see, I've set up 2 stop blocks for those quick repetitive cuts. Okay then, now it's time to create some holes in the wooden pieces for our bolts. Okay, we need to make sure that they are in the correct place to marry up with the slots in our base just over here. Now these bolts are 6mm, the opening is 6mm, so we don't have much of a wiggle room. Okay, so something like this to mark the position for the holes may not be good enough. So what I would suggest is to use a 6mm drill bit. Just make sure everything is lining up correctly and just mark the pieces off. First of all, I'm going to use a 10mm Forstner bit to create a recess for the head of the bolt, and then I will carry on with a 6mm drill bit. Now I'm going to install the bolts with a bit of persuasion. This way it's nice and flush with the timber and it's not going to spin on us. With that sorted, now it's time to mount our router, and I'm going to do this exactly in the same way as I did in our first jig. Now I'm just going to attach the base of my router to the base of our jig like we did before, and again I'm just going to use this router bit, the point bit, to create a middle point for my router so I know exactly where the middle is going to go across the board. Now with a hole saw I'm going to cut out the middle. And essentially we've got all the pieces for our jig. I've also transferred the marks on the edges just over here, but also on the inside of the circle from both sides, so it's a lot easier to establish the correct position of our jig. Now it's time to put it together. First of all, the base. And there you have it, our jig is fully completed. Let's make some mortices. First of all, we need to mark our board, the middle point, and now quite simply where the mortise needs to be. We've got our start and finish. Now we need to get our jig sorted. We need to align our middle point line with that line that we just marked on the board. When you do that, you move the bottom fences into position, lock them in place. With both of the bottom guides locked in place, well, we do get a stable router base to cut out our mortise. First of all, I'm going to plunge down at the beginning of our mortise and then at the end. After that, I'll connect both of those holes. And there you have it, absolutely perfect mortise right in the middle of our board. How simple and quick was that? That simple jig offers a very nice, neat and easy solution for mortises, but also if you need to cut out holes in your boards, for example for locks or anything like that, that is it. And there you have it, 3 super simple jigs that will greatly help you out with your daily chores if you need to use a router. As you can see, the material not expensive at all, MDF cheap as you can get, and will do absolutely fine for these jigs. And it just gives you a variety of projects you can tackle for not a lot of money. Plus the precision that these jigs will give you will allow you to tackle even those more complex and more demanding projects. I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, don't forget to drop me that like button down below and consider subscribing if you're new to my channel. However, at this point, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to my Patreons for the ongoing support. And before you go, check out these 2 cool playlists, plenty of fantastic videos waiting for you there.